He looks like the Incredible Hulk on steroids, knocks fellow fighters unconscious, is funny as hell, and holds the status of the undisputed MMA Trolls King who has the secret juice recipe. Paulo Costa has been snatching souls in the UFC since 2017 by dropping more bombs on the opposition than the Allied forces did in the Battle of Normandy. On October 21st, 2023, at UFC 294, he is scheduled to lock horns with Khamzat Chimaev, the undefeated finishing machine who's been taking the UFC by storm.
Just like that!
In this video, we will present the 5 times Paulo Costa absolutely destroyed his opponents, which could make you consider jumping off Chimaev's hype train, as Costa is coming for his head. Number 5. Oluwale Bamgbose. Only 3 months fresh of a successful UFC debut, Paulo Costa was matched against Oluwale Bamgbose next, a scary slugger whose previous opponents never even survived a round against him, and keeping the fight standing against him was the same as if trying to overpower a silverback gorilla. Costa was not intimidated, and on ceremonial weigh-ins, he made it clear that he was not there to play around. The Brazilian didn't care and was determined to dominate the African fighter in his own domain. He opened the hunting season with powerful body kicks, cooking his liver in Hannibal Lecter's style. Borrachinha unloaded his heavy artillery of strikes and punches, and before you knew it, Bamgbose was desperately seeking refuge on the canvas. That only bought him some time before meeting his inevitable doom in the second. Paulo Costa stalked him like Michael Myers before hammering his head with heavy blows, making him regret why he didn't bring a helmet in the octagon.
This could be it right here.
Oh, is it deafening in here? Paulo Borrachinha!
Number 4. Johnny Hendricks. The UFC could not ignore Costa's potential, and they knew that this Brazilian powerhouse had the potential to be a champion. To boost his name in the UFC community, they decided to match him against Johnny Hendricks, a powerful wrestler with one-punch knockout power. Hendricks is a former champion who's been knocking the opponents to the shadow realm, and he possessed solid wrestling that he used to neutralize the opponents and keep the fight wherever he pleased. The former champ promised to offer some resistance in the first round, going toe-to-toe against the prospect who went after Hendricks like a man possessed. The resistance lasted a few minutes, and Paulo slowly but surely started to pick up the pace and dictate the fight on his own terms. As the second round went on, Costa started his finishing sequence with a powerful high kick that forced the opposition to grab the legs. As a predator, Borrachinha went after his prey, looking for the finishing move, and started swinging with powerful shots with bad intentions. Time was now Costa's only ally, as he received more shots than 50 Cent. Nevertheless, the Brazilian put him out of his misery with 2 uppercuts from hell, forcing the referee to wave the fight off. That fight didn't go unnoticed, and even Joe Rogan praised Costa.
He fought the fucking eraser, dude. That guy's scary. Even post-USADA scary.
Hold up.
The most beloved UFC commentator was shocked at how good Paulo looked in this fight, especially since he fought a high-level former champion.
And the fight was basically an assault. It was an assault. You would never believe that Johnny Hendricks was a former world champion if you saw the way the eraser beat the shit out of him.
Number 3. Uriah Hall. After dismantling the former champion, Paulo Costa's popularity skyrocketed. He was considered the next big thing in the UFC, and the matchmakers couldn't resist but give him a higher-ranked opponent who had already established his name in the MMA world. Next on the kill list was Uriah Hall, a scary striker responsible for jaw-dropping knockouts that shocked the fans in disbelief. The fight promised fireworks, as both are known to bring fire on the feet, and the Brazilian was not shy to reveal his game plan.
Go to the front and put my hard hands in his body, his face, my kicks, and I think he will feel a lot my punches, and he will down.
As the bell rang, the fighter started throwing with venom, deciding to go out without a bulletproof vest and a helmet. The first round was competitive, where Costa unloaded his missiles and the Jamaican native returned with fire. However, in the second, Borrachinha reminded everyone that his striking is as deadly as an AK-47, blasting the opposition with punches and kicks before dropping him to the canvas. Although Costa could land a few more super necessary ground and pound strikes, the referee jumped in and saved Hall from leaving the arena vertically. The message was clear. Paulo Costa is slowly but surely knocking on the title door. Number 2, Yoel Romero. On August 17, 2019, the rising prospect was scheduled to face Yoel Romero, one of the most intimidating fighters in MMA history, whose athletic abilities are beyond anyone's understanding. If you look at his physique, there's no way you would have thought Yoel was in his 40s. He looks like a modified video game character, jacked up from head to toe, and his performances in the octagon even exceed his intimidating look. When the fight started, Paulo didn't waste time with appetizers and went straight to the main course, tagging Romero with big shots. The Soldier of God returned with fire, but was constantly outstriked on the feet by the younger fighter, who was hungry for another victory. Romero promised to bring big cannon energy. He jumped headfirst into a ferocious slugfest. By the third round, they could barely stand and had no intention of taking prisoners. Then, Yoel Romero gained his momentum, but it was too little, too late. The Brazilian sealed the deal by convincingly stealing the first 2 rounds, while Romero won the third. In an all-out war fight, Paulo Costa had his hands raised victorious again, and both warriors were granted the Fight of the Night bonuses. Number 1, Luke Rockhold. The last on Costa's kill list is Luke Rockhold, whom the Brazilian met on August 20th, 2022. Luke Rockhold is a former champion and one of the rare complete fighters who is as good on the feet as on the ground. He is a former UFC and Bellator champion, and the Old Lion was eager to prove that he is not done yet. In this bout, Costa showcased his grappling skills by controlling Luke on the ground, as well as outclassing him on the feet. Although Luke was giving some resistance on the feet, the Brazilian kept coming as an immortal, blasting him with powerful shots. By the end of the fight, they initiated a zombie-style massacre, but Rockhold was simply too drained to beat the clock. In a one-sided pounding, where Paulo was the one swinging the hammer, the referee had no headache deciding who was the winner. In analyzing Paulo Costa's potential victory against the undefeated Khamzat Chimaev, one cannot overlook the critical factor of size and strength that Costa brings to the octagon. When comparing the fighting styles and track records, it becomes evident that Costa's ferocious striking ability and power are unmatched. Costa's ability to dominate opponents with his striking speaks to his capacity to go toe-to-toe with powerful opponents and emerge victorious. One significant aspect to consider is the size factor, where Costa's imposing physique and strength could potentially overpower Chimaev. Costa's relentless aggression and striking capabilities have consistently overwhelmed his opponents, including former champions like Hendricks and Luke Rockhold, showcasing his ability to neutralize opponents wherever the fight goes. Paulo Costa's proven ability to dominate opponents through his striking power, combined with his imposing size and strength, positions him favorably against Khamzat Chimaev. Costa's track record of decimating opponents, particularly those with impressive resumes, indicates that he has the tools and ferocity needed to halt the undefeated streak of Chimaev and secure a decisive victory at UFC 294. Thanks for tuning in to today's video featuring Paulo Costa. If you enjoyed watching and want more content like this, why not show some love with a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button? Join us on our journey to 1,000 subscribers. Remember, each subscription brings us one step closer to our goal. Let's do this together.